I want to mention a couple things today. Um, if anybody here is doing business right now, you're in a pretty good spot. I've been talking to a couple people in the industry, and land has been crazy for the last year and a half, and we're at a low point. So if you're still moving property, you're in a pretty good spot, pretty good position. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and it comes with both sides of this machine that this land game. That hopefully I'm kind of excited about the opportunities that will be created because of this low point that we're kind of dealing with right now. Um, we've kind of positioned ourselves ready to buy some good properties. So I think if you can weather the storm currently, you can do a lot of cool things here in the near future. Um, there's been a lot of slow moving stuff. One of the conversations we have with our lenders all the time is that worst case scenario, we hold properties for a little bit longer. But it's one of the biggest things about uh, buying at a good price. You don't want to be stuck holding the bag on any of this stuff. Um, I've seen it time and time again with different properties we tried to buy, and somebody bought it too high. And I think Marvin might have brought a deal like that where sellers bought it too high and they're trying to flip it, and it is not flippable. It's not even monetizable. So I think it's really, really important that you get good pricing on land, especially if you're targeting it. So one thing I'll say is wherever prices you're trying to get before, dig a little deeper and try and get better pricing. Because the only way to move property right now is severely underprice it. One of the things we're looking at right now is other competitive pricing in the area based off a similar product. So one of the things we're trying to do is undercut all the pricing in the area just to provide and make sure our property moves quicker for the people that are buying, they're gonna buy our stuff. So you really got to make sure you're competitively priced stuff right now.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying too, man. Is like, so of course, yes, selling into a declining market is always going to be tricky, right? Like, even us, like, I think we're pretty good at land, but being able to predict what the market's going to do 6 months or a year from now is virtually impossible. So I think we were buying, right, like somewhere around, I don't know, 60, 70 cents on the dollar, and we were able to exit like it's, 80, 90 cents on the dollar. And now it's like, damn, like we're trying to exit like at 70 cents. So those 70% offers, they're deals are still struggling around that number. So we are gonna have to be a lot closer to like 50, 60% of market and try to get out of there by like 70. So just keep that in mind when you're out there looking.
Yeah. Like I said, we got some stuff that we've owned. Me and Anthony were kind of talking about all the properties we own that are kind of on market, just sitting. It's not that we're mad that they're sitting. It's just a strategy we play. So once we get it on the market, we're gonna have to sit and wait for that property to move, and it's kind of we're at the wheel of the marketplace, and we're still doing our off market push, but we're at the wheel of the marketplace at that point. And this is really going to determine where your value is. The values have competitively shrunk a little bit. Like for instance, we have that Tyler deal. We were pushing lots at like 60,000. We sold a couple. We upped it to 65 after we cleared some land. We have one buyer at 65, but we have no other buyers coming in at that price point, so we're lowering the price down to 62 and a half and probably down to 60 grand eventually, just because it's not moving at that price point. So you really have to like look at what is in the marketplace. And what's crazy about Tyler is we have a bunch of properties in the Tyler marketplace. We have 1 acre tracts for selling for 60 to 65, and then literally 10 miles down the road, 8 to 10 miles down the road, we're selling 10 acre tracts for 100. So, or 12 acre tract for 120. So there's a big price variance depending on how close you are to town. And you're actively seeing that in the marketplace the more you have more properties in a certain area. So it kind of gives us a little edge because we do have other properties in the area. I think we just closed on a 4 acre tract on South Tyler last week that we're trying to sell for I think 120. It's one of those things where we're active in the marketplace. We're pretty comfortable with our numbers just because we know the market. We have insider knowledge.
Yep. I think what we're seeing right now a lot more of is having to reach directly into the a marketplace by like tapping into really all the agents and all the brokers and getting everybody involved in a piece of property, like just listing on Facebook Marketplace. It's still working, right? Because obviously we're getting a bunch of contracts like that, like getting a lot of stuff sold. But we have a full time team that's just blowing up agents and brokers, and that seems to be working really well right now too. So
Yeah.
yeah, posting and sitting back is not enough right now. We're actually going to launch a unique dispo campaign that we've never done before. Hopefully, it's up and running like in the next week. So we'll let you know how that progresses. It's a little early to talk about it, but we have an idea for dispo that might change the game.
Yeah. And like I think a lot of it comes down to you have to adapt to changing markets. So I actually saw this tweet earlier that kind of alludes to this. Let me find it real quick. It says that here it is. It says the wall that you're hitting might be you being too cheap. You have no paid ads, no mentorship, no paid email marketing, and often people start off hot and then you hit a wall and you might be stuck at too cheap. So I think if you're having trouble in the marketplace, you might have to turn up some marketing ad spend, and I think it's going to be the solution moving forward, whether you're selling or buying. You have to turn up your ad spend, which is a good or bad thing. So it's one thing that we're trying to punch a hole in. So we'll keep you updated on what we're trying to do to adjust to move properties faster. Like I said, it's a work in progress, but we're trying to adapt to this ever changing market, and it's a unique situation to be in, but we have a lot of property to move, and we got to figure out how to do it while we got it. Right, Anthony?
Yep. Yeah, I think right now, like you said, I think now is the time to really boost up your ad spend. So whatever you were spending to move tracks before, yeah, you're gonna have to boost that number up a lot right now to get some progress.
How is acquisitions looking like, Anthony, in your opinion, in this current little trend we're in?
I think it's running. I mean, it's running perfect. I haven't noticed any difference on the acquisition side. Like sellers aren't desperate. You know what I mean? Like they're still holding strong, but I haven't seen any change like in the frequency of contracts that we're picking up on large and small stuff. So we're still humming along in that department. And then, like I said, even on the dispo side, man, I wish that we could say like, oh no, things are going bad right now because of the economy. But man, dispo seems to be humming along right away too. Yeah, Junior's been really stepping it up on closing buyers. So if you're running ads for buyers, yeah, get Junior on the phone with them, and he's kicking ass right now. He's getting hotter by the second. So yeah, I think everything's still humming right along, man. I haven't. Fortunately, I think in the land business, usually your sellers are a little bit more stable, right? Like if they're losing their house, they got to dump it. But nobody's kind of really losing their land. You know what I mean? It's just kind of not a thing. Sometimes they've had it for a long time. It's been paid off forever. And then on the buy side, like on us selling the dispo side, the buyers have money. That's why they're out there looking for land. So they have a home already. They already have other assets. So land is kind of like, well, I got too much money. I'm gonna go buy me some dirt now. So yeah, I don't know that the market's gonna. And John Alexander called it. I don't know that the market's gonna affect us the way that it was in other asset classes. We're doing just fine. Everything's going good.
I think there's a lot of hesitation right now because of the election and end of the year. So I think there's a little bit of hesitation of spending money or signing contracts for stuff. But I think I think once the election goes, it's gonna either go good or go bad.
I don't
Everybody's,
know, man. We've been selling a shitload of properties right now.
oh, I know. I think it'll turn up. I think depending on how the election goes, it might turn up or it might just stay the same. I don't think it's gonna go terribly bad, you know.
No, yeah. Everything seems to be just business as usual, almost like I said. I think for a little while, I felt like maybe about a month or two ago, like sales were still going good, but maybe there was a little bit of hesitation here and there. And I think that's what we did is we adjusted because the prices seem to be like I said, like we can't predict. Like, hey, we thought we bought at the perfect price, and now free sitting on freaking market for 6 months. Um, it's been like 4 months, but I'm just saying like things are sitting a little bit longer. So yeah, we have to be even more aggressive with our pricing. And then plus too, a lot of wholesalers and property sellers, they don't even know what the stuff is worth. Like somebody sent me a 300-acre tract that was worth like 1.5 and they're asking 2.5. Like what world do you live in? You know what I mean? Like this is the prices we see are crazy sometimes.
They are very inflated. It's a double-edged sword of land is that not everything has a set valuation, so you can get really crazy valuations coming from even brokers. Um, but there's still stuff on marketplace. I think there'll be more stuff coming up. And even the stuff that's been on marketplace, they're still malleable and they're still conversational in most cases. I think the marketplace will loosen up pricing, even the listed stuff. They may have a crazy price, but they're just waiting for the right offer.
Yeah, so I think the model still works, right? Go like to Zillow or whatever, you find stuff listed online. go to the filters and just find stuff that's been listed the longest. 3 years, 2.5 years, 2 years, 1.5 years, and some of them people never got an offer, right? And we've made some weird offers and they accepted it. I forgot which property it was, but we made like three offers, and the third one was the very worst one we had, and they took it.
Yeah.
So you just never know what people are going to accept.
And it's one of those things where you always want to have the multiple offer strategy going anyway, because some people don't want cash. We've had a few sellers recently that they didn't want cash up front and pay in full. They wanted payments over time, and we're working with those people directly. So it's kind of keeping your options open and seeing what the seller needs versus what you want to offer or what makes sense to offer.
Yeah, so we're running into that now, and I think these are probably like wealthier individuals. Uh, Not everybody wants cash, right? And in our mind, we're like, nobody's going to accept my seller finance offer. But there's a lot of sellers that are more savvy, and they're like, dude, I'm not dumb. I don't want to get $1 million check and pay 1/3 of that in taxes, or 25% of that in taxes. Like, I just want to get payments. So all you're doing is like same thing. Like if you were looking for sub twos, if you were looking for these difficult to find assets, then yeah, the more looking you do, the better you're going to get at it. We have a app that we're building right now. I'm hoping to sign a contract like in the next week or two. We're going to start using AI to make offers, and it's going to change the game for all of us. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I know that app's going to explode because we did it with HiveMind. It was just like a go high level white label, and we blew it up quick, like in a year. And we didn't have an audience or a brand or anything. And now we have a pretty good size audience and a pretty recognizable brand. So when this app comes out, it's going to have like a 3-tier affiliate program. So you'll get paid for sharing the app and for other people using it. But it's going to really streamline the way that people make money in land and in real estate. It's going to be nuts. I promise you guys. Nobody's ever seen anything like this before.
Kind of opt this tangent is using AI. I've been using AI a lot more, pretty much almost daily. I have it on my
Dude,
phone.
I've been using that cotton indexer that I have. It's stupid. Sorry to cut
It's
you off.
it's AI, and I know it's a hot topic right now. I promise you, you need to start learning what to do and how to use it, no matter what platform you're using it on. It's getting pretty crazy out there, as far as what you can do with it. Um, a friend of mine that buys businesses a video of him putting in like basic information for a business, and it structured an offer based off of their request back to the seller based off of the income and NOI of the business or EBITDA of the business. So there's a lot of interesting things coming with that, and I hope everybody here is leveraging it. We've been dabbling with it in different ways through county code and creative offers. Like a lot of times is I use my if you see me use my calculator, I'll probably cover my calculator stuff here in a few weeks again. So I always like doing that call. But the calculations, it's no longer manual. You can just run it through AI. So perfect example of this. I have a good example. So Anthony, we sold a tract. I want to say it was 3 years ago. We sold a
Orange
tract
Grove?
Jet Road.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's a great example.
Great example to AI. So Jet Road, we sold this property to a seller, and I think we wrote up for like a 20-year AM. The seller essentially made, I think, over principal payments, and then they did a couple lump sum payments, and then they're wondering what the payoff was. So Leslie, who's Anthony's sister, I was like, do you have pretty much all the information I need to kind of run this through AI? So I ran it through AI, and it spit out what the payoff balance was, because if you're not using, like, you have to plug it all to a spreadsheet and do the math, and it gets pretty heavy pretty quick. I ran it through, and it wasn't the first prompt that got me the right answer. I ran it through a couple times in a couple different ways. And if you mess with AI, you kind of have to word it things different way, just to kind of make sure you get the right answer. So I ran it through for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, kind of messing with it, make sure I got the right answer, make sure I plugged in every payment and when it came in, the amounts it came in, the lump sum payments, um, and it spit out the answer. And I was like, let me double check it. I double triple checked it with the AI, and it worked out. Sent it back to Anthony and his sister, and they kind of sent it to the seller. And Anthony told me they paid off in full the balance based off of that modeling through AI. So those,
today.
yeah, paid off today. So it's really cool to use tools like that just to kind of uh, it takes the thinking guesswork out of it. Like, yeah, I can run the calculation of how much a payment will be if it's $100,000 in a 5-year note. But sometimes if you want to do the thinking process of it, just type it out and it does the math for you. Um, it shortcuts a lot of different things. So I'm always doing like interest only offers and stuff like that. And like for whatever reason, I do a lot of math and interest only always gets me. But every time I do interest only, I just put it in AI and it spits it out for me. So it saves a lot of the hard processing of like, hey, what's that formula to solve this answer? And I just put it in AI and it solves it. So there's a lot of computing power coming that get at your fingertips that takes the guesswork and like that critical thinking out of your fingertips, which is amazing. So I've been using ChatGPT. There's a free version and a paid version. The paid version is like $20 a month. Anthony's been using Grok, which is on Twitter or X, and I think it's like $10 a month or something like that.
Dude, so on that, so that logo for Land Hacker, I made that with Grok, and the logo for the worst private money lender, I made that on Grok, and then I had a very complex JV agreement that I needed to draw up. Somebody got like a 25 house portfolio, and we lent money into the deal, so we're gonna get paid back, like 5,000 per house that's sold. So it's a pretty complex JV agreement, and I just punched like the parameters inside of Grok, and it drew up a badass contract, and we just made a few edits, and boom, sent it over to title. They loved it. Done.
Yeah, even contracting stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with contracts. I will not confirm or deny that I fought a potential litigation with AI already, and it turned out okay. I will not confirm or deny that, but um, it went pretty well.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chat GPT was our attorney.
I will not confirm or deny that, but we do not give legal advice, neither does ChatGPT.
Hey, it's been pretty cool, guys, and I guess like this is we just talked to a guy how long has he been in real estate investing? 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, dude has like helicopters and like just he's very successful. I didn't even know he was here in San Antonio until recently. And yeah, it's pretty cool just everything that we're talking about, everything that we're doing, but it's like the cheat code really is in this AI stuff. Like we didn't have to be in real estate for 12 years to learn how to do legal. Send us a demand letter, send us a stupid lawsuit. Then you got to hire an attorney to defend yourself, and you're spending all this money on legal. And so far, we've diffused like 3 or 4 lawsuits already, just using like AI tools. So it's been a pretty cool experience.
Yeah. So somebody asked what the interest only formula is. There it is in the chat. So yeah, we've been using AI for a lot of different stuff. And it's crazy to see what it knows, but it knows a lot. It knows a lot. And I've been asking. So this is one of the things I want to mention about AI. Somebody just messaged me. They said they closed their first wholesale deal last month with an AI text. Somebody just messaged me that right now. No, 100%. There's a lot of so one thing about AI is AI knows so much. You just have to ask the right questions. So one of the things about this is it's you have to prompt the right questions. That's the whole key. Yeah, you can ask it basic things and it'll tell you basic answers, but when you really get granular into specific subjects, it gets really specific into specific subjects. So it's really cool to kind of dabble with it. So I think the course game 100% is out the window, in my opinion, if people knew what the right questions to ask. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody came out with a course of how to ask ChatGPT the right questions, because that alone is worth the course. Because if you know what questions to ask based off a specific subject, that's where you get the upper hand. That's where you get the upper hand. So if you have not messed with it, please go mess with it. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. I even gave access to my virtual assistants. Um, so they use it in different prompts. Like whenever, if you ever used Filipino VAs, No offense to them, they're great and amazing. Sometimes they have like communication issues where they might not understand because of language issue, which happens in every language in general. So I give them access to the AI so they can respond better. So I tell my team use it for whatever you need it for. Um, Zach says how to ask ChatGPT the right questions. Equals AI prompt engineering course. There's 1 0 to ask ChatGPT 27. There you go. There you go. And like what's crazy about AI in general, I think it's ever changing. I think they just came out with a new version, and it's getting better and better. So I think if you pay attention to it, not that you have to be an expert in it, just pay attention and keep your ear to the ground and um, start messing with it, you'll become better off with it than without it, in my opinion.
I'll tell you
And
something right now. Daniel always used to try to get me to use Chat GPT, and I just hate it because it lies, right? It's politically incorrect. So I never wanted to use it. So I just kind of avoided it. I never found a use case for it because I wasn't using it. But now I started playing with Grok, and Elon says that when it's on the second version, when the third version comes out, it'll be the most powerful AI on the planet. So I just wanted to get very familiar with it before we got to that stage where it gets so complex, like it's just going to kind of be hard to use. But the more I use it, and Daniel knows it, like we have like several team apps like that our whole entire organization uses, and I've never even logged in once to multiple different apps and systems that we have. So I'm just not really a tech guy like that. Like I can imagine tech because I know what I need because I'm an operator. And then I'll just hire the experts and put the people around me that can, put those systems and stuff into place. But now that I've actually just been toying with it, like, man, it's like kind of reteaching me how to think. So like I'm having these very like even just designing the app. I woke up like at 3:30 in the morning and my brain's just firing. Like I'm just coming up with all these ideas. I finally like my brain connected all the dots for the app that I was going to roll out. That was supposed to be Hivemind, but we did a white label so we can launch quickly. And so the plan worked amazing. I don't regret it. But now we're ready to launch something proprietary that's going to take over everything in the land game. So I get up like at 3:30 in the morning. Like I just cannot sleep. My brain's just firing on all cylinders. I'm having all these good ideas. So I get up, I get a notebook, I draw out about 15 sentences or something like that. And I got out another sheet of notebook paper and I was going to start writing down like my outline for the app. And I said, wait a minute. One of my friends just bought me this it's a card for my birthday. It's called Plaud, Plaud. It's like a credit card, but it's in a little like leather sleeve, and it sticks as a magnet to the back of your phone, and it records the conversation, and then it makes you an outline, like it indexes it. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm downstairs by candlelight, right, writing out this stuff for the app. I go upstairs and I get that card, and I said I'm gonna go ahead and try this out and see what happens. It's connected to Chat GPT and what else? What's the other one?
Grok.
OpenAI. Yeah, so I wrote down my 15, 20 sentences about the app, and then I talked for 8 minutes straight. Boom, exported amazing like pitch deck, like an amazing outline of what the app does, what everything that's involved. Crazy. I'm like, oh man, this just made my life so much easier. Like I said, then I pumped out those contracts for that complex JV deal. So now, like as I'm starting to have these, because I'm a visionary, right? And I'm not the best integrator. Daniel's like a god level integrator. Anytime now I imagine something, and every time I tap into AI to help me get there, it's helping me like have new ideas. I'm like, oh, you know what I could do? I could do this. I could do so all these little like pieces of my imagination that were never there before. Knowing what I'm capable of now, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So today I had a conversation about the app, and we're gonna get this guy also developed an AI, so we're gonna talk to his developers. Um, so just I recorded that conversation and then I exported the convo and I sent it to Daniel and Kyle. Freaking amazing! Like all the key points of the conversation, action steps, everything that's moving forward. Like there's literally no other way on the planet to have put that conversation together the way that the Plaud did, Plaud. It's freaking crazy. So now I'm trying to use it for everything. Like I get really excited. Like I'm fishing into I'm on a call and I'm like, oh crap, I need I need this information. And like I said, it's just really my brain's evolving very, very quickly now. So now I can like imagine things that were not even on the table 7 days ago.
Telling you, if you're not using it, go mess with it. It's it's changed the way I like things that I would do critical thinking for. I don't do it anymore. Which is amazing, which is really nice. And that's just not having to critically think over simple stuff is it's a life-changing thing. So please go mess with it any way,
Yeah,
shape. Go
dude, think
ahead.
about it. Think about the time saved. Just designing that app, making the outline for the app, the pitch deck, just getting that JV contract put together. I mean, like this is stuff that would have taken me like hours, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Maybe the app might have taken me days. Like several nights in a row. I think I invested a total of like 15 minutes into that app outline, maybe 20 minutes, and then the same thing on that JV agreement. What I did is I used Plod and I said, "Hey, here's the JV agreement that I'm having with another entity. Here's all the details of the JV. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. Here's what we both have into the deal. Here's how we're going to set it up." And I just spoke it into Plod right into the app, and then it spit me out like exported the file, the text. So then I took the text and I took it over to Grok and I said, "Hey, can you make me a legal JV agreement for the state of Texas using this outline?" And boom, it sent me all the contracts, and I just sent it to Leslie. She did the final edit, sent it to title. They loved it. It's like, what the heck? I just made a badass complex legal document like in maybe 6 minutes or something. It was crazy.
What's crazy about that is, no offense to my attorney, but he would have charged us $500 for that.
At least some commercial contracts are like 1,500, 1,200.
It would have been $500 minimum.
Yeah, because it's a multi-step agreement.
Literally insane. There's a lot of cool things happening. So please pay attention to it. It's not a hot keyword. It really does work. I think Carla said something about Suno, created a song. So there's a lot of cool things you could do with it. I think there's a crazy video that just came out. It was a AI podcast that they told it to realize it was speaking. Uh, Angie, did you want to say something? I feel like you're itching. I see you.
No, sir.
Okay.
Just
I got you. I
Hey,
got you.
does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to cover? Any topics that we haven't touched? A deal you want to analyze? Like, let's turn over the second half of the call to you guys. Yeah. So I think this app is going to change the game for all of us. It's going to eliminate the need for you to make manual offers. It's going to eliminate the need for you to know how to do comps, and it's going to eliminate the need for you to do dispo all in the same app. It's going to be stupid. Hey, what's up, Christina? Question?
Yes,
Uh,
I have a question. I wanted to see if you guys can help me out. I last week that was my first meeting and I didn't know much about it, but I'm trying to make like a spreadsheet with all the information that I need to be able to keep a track of all the properties that I'm underwriting or try to underwrite. And I kind of wanted to know all the fields that would be a good, I have a bunch, but I think might have too much. So I have like price per acre, maybe frontage, like a percentage of flood, like a picture, the how many feet for the frontage, the location, like how many minutes to the city, like all the septic water, electric, the restriction, the easements, if the road is paved, if there's pipes on the road, like what's the shape of the property, like a Google Earth link, maybe a Google Earth picture, the county, days on market. I think I'm just going overboard, so I just wanted to see if I have if there's like a little bit less, have comps, agent name, agent number, summary. I have like too much stuff, so just
Okay, so all that is very, very, very simple. And we these deals are so big that we want them to be complex, right? We want there to be a struggle to make that amount of money. But it's so simple, it's crazy. So I'll just go as fast as I can through everything I can remember on what you just said. If you're thinking about an entrance to each lot, and usually in Texas needs to have like a utility easement and a road, it's somewhere usually about 60 to 70 feet. I like to aim for 100 for an entrance per lot. And then so you're gonna need no less than like 70 feet per 10 acres of road frontage. So that's a pretty good formula right there. The shape really doesn't matter, but you don't want to have a very long and skinny tract. Like if the property has 300 feet of road frontage and it's a mile or 2 miles long, that's a piece of junk. There's no way to cut it up unless you put in a road. It's going to cost you $1 million in 2 years of your life. Don't do it. You want to have some sort of water there. We don't care if it's public water, co-op water, or you can get a water well. You just got to get a price on the water wells because you could end up with a water well that's $100,000. We just dropped the deal right now because the wells were $100,000. So it's not a good. It was a crazy price, but that's not good for 10-acre subdivide. You want to make sure that you have access to power. If you can't get power to a lot, we don't want it at all, right? Who in the heck wants a lot that you can't even get electricity on? You can't do anything there at all. So no water, no electric. That's a deal breaker. Flood zone, we don't care. As long as the flood zone is to the back of the property, not in the front. Even if the back half is flood zone, we sold one that was about 60% flood zone that we cut up. So that's very simple. What other questions did you have in there?
Paved road, is it important to have a paved road?
Very important. If you're on a crappy dirt road, imagine trying to drive in a brand new Mercedes down a crappy dirt road and your whole car is shaking and the freaking wheels are falling apart. That's something that you don't if it's a dirt road and it's in excellent condition, it's very smooth and it's very well maintained by the county, great. But if there's potholes and chunks of road falling off of it, like just dump that whole property because nobody's going to buy it. It's going to take too long to move.
Okay.
Yeah. You want paved road. You want paved nice asphalt roads. The closer you are to a highway, the better. Distance to the city, closer the better. Like if what I imagine is the best properties are going to be easiest to sell or along the main highways. So think of all the main highways that leave a city, follow along those highways. That's where the big developers build neighborhoods, right? They want you to have a lot of visibility off the highway. So just follow those highways down on Google Earth and then just go right past where the neighborhoods are. And that's the area where you want to start hitting. But if you've been going down a highway for, 20, 30, 40 miles and there's no neighborhoods being built, you're getting kind of far out there. It could still be a deal, but you need your price per acre is going to drop significantly. Like you need to start picking stuff up for 3,000 to 5,000 an acre to make money out there.
So me and Kyle created this graphic a couple weeks ago. It's on social media. We post it every once in a while. I'll just put it in the chat here in a minute. But essentially the things we're looking for right off the bat. And it usually disqualifies a lot of the deals right off the bat pretty easily. So this is for big land, by the way, not for just land in general. I should say big land. But 20K per acre or less. Then we look at the shape. And then from there, the shape kind of tells us the frontage, which you kind of mentioned, and then location nearest major city, and the main artery is kind of given there. Flood zone, is it 100% flood zone? Is it 80% flood zone? Is it 20% flood zone? And then where is the flood zone? Front, back, side. Kind of look at those things, and then utilities is the last thing. Usually with those 5 criteria, we can disqualify a deal probably in 10 minutes. Pretty easily. I'll put this in the chat. But our graphics team made that a couple weeks ago.
Hey guys, I'm just kind of curious if you have analyzed how much you're discounting properties if they are not on a paved road. So you're looking at an area that's got comps, not hot, but not cold area. But you're like, I really want to use these comps. Might say that the comps, your target property is on a dirt road. But let's say 75% of your comps are on a paved road. How are you going to analyze that? What kind of
I'm at 25% of value for dirt roads. Paved roads 50 to 60%, dirt roads 25 to 35% even, and that's it. I'm not going above it. You're just pushing a boulder uphill. Unless you're just in a hot area, dirt roads do not sell. Yeah, I literally offer, like if I think I can get 10 grand an acre, I'm offering 2,500 an acre. It's just too risky. It's too crappy of a deal. No reason to take on that risk, And like I bought one that's on a paved road, but just like in a rural area. And then like the way we subdivided it, you have to drive down a dirt road to get to your lot. We're like at 1.5 years of selling that property. We just have one tract left. We're about to sell. Yeah.
Super interesting that you're saying that, because I was analyzing one in is it Milan County? It's kind of northwest of College Station. Mm-hmm. And it's a struggling subdivision. And 90 acres, 10 lots, they're all in at 13K an acre. They're listed at 18K an acre right now, and it's not moving. And I was kind of just like, just trying to like learn from, they've got investors on it, and it's painful to, I think it's going to probably sell at 15K an acre, which means about 180K, not even counting commissions. It's rough. Their investors probably aren't going to give money again, is the downside for them. And so I was just kind of like looking at what went wrong there and just trying to learn something from it, because it's not my $1.2 million. I'd rather learn from somebody else's investment of $1.2 million. And so I just kind of like, I spent some time, I was just like, let's see what we could learn here. And, it was, and the thing is I was trying to, like College Station looked like it was about 40 minutes away. And I'm like, I wonder if they started pulling comps too close to College Station. Could have been one mistake there. Yep. They bought it back in December, and the market was different, but I went back and I looked at comps back then. I was trying to like take myself back then, thinking this is a person that, has some experience in this business. And I'm, it can happen to the best of us, right? If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, right? I just told somebody that today. And
I love that phrase.
Yeah. And so I'm like, 1.2 million, this is painful. And so anyway, I was looking at this, and they put in a road. So I think they put about $300,000 of improvements into this. And they pulled electric, 9 lots, I said, and maybe it was 9 to 11, I don't know. Anyway, but like you said here, it's off of a paved road, I believe, but it's, it's a private road then, is what these lots are coming off of. So Anthony, what I'm hearing you say is that's still not fantastic.
It depends how long the dirt road is too, okay? If you come off a paved road and you drive down, 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, that's good. But if you go into a dirt road and you drive down a mile, I'm just junking. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Yeah, those are the ones that those deals fall apart on us. And not fall apart, they just take too long.
It takes too long.
Yeah, we're just not interested in doing 10-acre subdivides that take 2 years. Like, we're trying to make money in like 90 days, 180 days.
Well, and then I think that's a good point, to make sure it's just not too long if you're going to do that.
You got to
condition is everything.
You got to be prepared to hold that stuff 100%. The stuff off the dirt roads, and the other thing that we look at too is how far it is from the paved road. Like if it's right there, we're a little bit more optimistic. If it's a mile down, we're out, because it's just too far down that road, and you're gonna have a rough time. You're gonna have a rough time selling everything off that road. And it's just, we've dealt with it. We've had to let go of a few deals just because we're on a dirt road. They just wouldn't move at the price point we expected, and nobody wants to buy that stuff. It is what it is.
I think another thing is, like, I think everybody needs to just watch out for, like, everybody else has an idea that you can do exempt 10-acre subdivides in Texas. Word is out. And so there's a lot of, 10 to 20 acre subdivides that have come on the market. And the sell-through rate, if you look at just 10 to 20 acre, properties in this area, the sell-through rate, sold comps in 12 months over for sale listings, 4%, which is kind of surprising. You're like, gosh, this is like 45 minutes from College Station. Could it really be that bad? 4%.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking at again. So this is like further emphasis on having to, now where we thought we could sell at 90% of market value and move them quickly. Like now we're trying to get cleared down to 70. And if the sellers don't want to accept that, well, good luck. God bless you. We'll follow up with you. And is it okay if I call you in 90 days? Because you're still going to have it. And that's it. We just got to just buy deeper right now. That's all we can do. That's our only defense, because if you're trying to move stuff at 90%, it's probably still not going to move now. You got to be very, very low. So yeah, like you said, I love that. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And right now we're saying hell no to a lot more deals lately.
Yeah, we're definitely saying a lot more. So it's been pretty crazy, but avoid the dirt roads.
Hey, people are getting mad. Kyle even said it. Like, people are like, this is a deal. It's a deal. I promise it's a deal. And Kyle's like, it's not a deal, bro. Like, you got to go a little deeper right now. We're just in that season. And I think it's going to come back, Yeah, I think it's going to come back. Not to get too political, but if Trump gets back in, the freaking economy is going to boom. I mean, he's just going to make it go like he always does. So I think that would put a lot of energy into the marketplace. But, for right now, the way things are, and then we're heading into World War III, you better buy deeper.
Mm-hmm.
We might not see it for like 6 months either. That's the other thing too. No matter which way the election goes, we might not see the ramifications of that for a little bit.
I think we're still going to hit bottom right now. There's going to be a lot of fear in the marketplace of World War III. So again, like our best defense is to just buy deeper right now. Yeah, but like Daniel said, like no matter who gets in, there's going to be like a 6 month to a year lull of just weirdness that nobody can predict.
Yep.
It's gonna be hit or miss. No, but yeah, everybody avoid dirt roads. That's the lesson.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't do it. When I saw Mertens, when I saw that deal, I was like, oh no. dirt roads. And sure enough, we've got mostly everything sold. I think we have like 2 lots left or something, but those last 2 lots are down the little tiny short dirt road, and they're not moving. Can we lower the price? For sure, but yeah, dirt roads are just tough.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where like there was enough juice on it that we monetized it before we got to the last 2 tracks. So now we're waiting for the last 2 dirt roads to close. So we're slowly trickling our price down a little bit just to find that right person to buy it. But somebody will buy it eventually.
That's the thing. So look, yeah, exactly. So that's what we tell all of our investors, our private money guys. They're like, hey, what's the worst thing that could happen here? Is it's just going to take longer to move. So Orange Grove, perfect example. Wholesaler brought it to me. I said, I don't want it. He's like, dude, I need help. These people are begging me to help them. So I said, okay, let me see what I could do. I ran $100 a day on Facebook Marketplace for like a month. Nothing, no action at all. And so I called the dude and I said, I'm out on this property, bro. I said, I can't help. He's like, dude, their dad's gonna die. They're begging me to help them. So I'm like, oh man, my emotional self makes me lose money because I get emotionally involved in people, right? So I was like, damn it, all right, let's do it. Bam, we bought the damn thing for like 400,000, and I think we're pushing like a year and a half to 2 years of selling this place. And now we got 1 lot left off of 100 and whatever acre tract, 110 acre tract or something. So will it sell? 100% chance, but it's gonna be a while. So yeah, you don't want to tie yourself up into a deal where you're not gonna make profit for 2 years. It's just not a good business model. Not for land. When land we could double close stuff and make 80 grand. So why get yourself involved into a deal that's gonna take you a year or two to make money? Right? Just find a better deal. They're out there.
Yep. And that's the advice we're giving everybody. Find a better deal. It's getting tough out there, and if you're stuck in a bad deal, you're gonna be stuck holding the bag.
Mhm.
But again, we're still having plenty of sales, plenty of contracts on the acquisition side, plenty of dispo side. I don't know how many Martha and Marcy probably by themselves got like 6 or 8 contracts in the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? But still, you got to buy deeper if you want to move quick into this market.
And this is the other thing too. If you want to move your property quick, you got to underprice it. So
Mhm.
if you're trying to move faster than everybody else, you got to be cheaper than everybody else. Christina asked, Carla, I'm sorry. Carla, you still here? She had her hand up a while
Yeah,
ago.
I'm still here. I was just asking about that app. Is that for people who've had deals, or is it, me, I haven't done anything yet, or still new. So would that be something that I could use?
The app that
The app that you guys were talked about that you guys going to put out there, is that something is it
uh,
in the near future or later?
June of 25 is the target. I think we're gonna hit it way sooner, but conservatively June of 25. Everybody that's
Okay.
in the land space is gonna need this app. If you don't have it, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. I promise you. I'm not just saying that to hype it up. I don't really hype stuff up. I'm not a hype man at all. I don't yell on stage when I speak at events. If you're in land, you need this app. Period.
Okay.
Um, and then Christina asked, what other states are you guys looking in for deals? Right now, we're open to pretty much anywhere right now, as long as we're kind of falling into this. We're near a major city. Mostly stuff we're looking in other states. We're looking for flips. So we just flipped a 3 acres in Florida. That's closing. We sold it was a 2 acre tract and a 1 acre tract. We bought for 100. We sold off the 1 acre tract for 75. We're selling the 2 acre for 125, and that's closing next Friday. So we're still looking for little lot flips because there's a lot of opportunity like that pretty much nationwide. So if you guys see anything nationwide, we're definitely looking for little land flips we can do nationwide. But are y'all looking at large tracts, 10 acres, or small tracts, 20 acres in this market? We're looking at everything right now, literally anything. If it's I think we're kind of picking at like 50 acres or less right now. But anything small lot flips, I think we just picked up like Anthony, how big are those two tracks we just picked up for the 15 and 19? We just picked up a few smaller deals recently.
Your point, Daniel, is your point not to bring too many splits to market at the same time, like 5 or less?
Oh well, yes. We're learning that. Um, we're trying to move ugly stuff first too. So stuff that's a little harder to move just to kind of grease the wheels a little bit. So one thing we learned from somebody is like you pick your ugliest tract and you make it super affordable, super affordable, where you're gonna pick up a lot of eyes. Like, who's the idiot selling 10 acres for 50,000? You know, and then it's the ugliest tract that has telephone lines and 100% flood zone and all that jazz. But it's gonna bring people's eyes, and then you kind of move everybody else to the rest of the tracks available.
You
So
don't have any concern about setting low comps by doing that, giving yourself a low comp?
no,
And
not really.
we set high comps everywhere we go. We're usually the highest comp, especially on seller finance. We're 35% above market or
Yeah,
close to it.
we're usually when you put the seller financing hat on, you can move stuff a little bit more expensive, so
Mhm.
you can kind of play flexible a little bit with it. But the biggest thing, and you mentioned it maybe, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, is the eyes, the traffic. If you can drive the traffic, the people that want it will buy it, especially the people who can afford it. So the main thing is getting people through the door, then everything else kind of falls in line. And the price doesn't really matter at that point, because we've done a couple 1 day sales, and those things were flying off the shelves just because there was some people there trying to buy at the same
Are
time.
you, are you selling a higher percentage by chance with seller financing right now than you were 6 months ago, or is it about the same?
Um, Recently,
I feel like there has been a bump in seller finance. Not a lot, not dramatic for us, but I think it is there. Like even there's a guy that's buying one of those little Tyler lots, and he's like, I have the cash to pay for it, but I'll just rather use their money. All right, dude, whatever. But yeah, I feel like we've probably seen a at least a 20 to 25% bump in seller finance, which I guess is significant. And maybe it's not that high, but it's noticeable for sure. And also, we don't care because we're just going to sell the notes anyway. So here's the magic, guys. This is why we don't care if we sell a note. So when you sell on a note, it makes it harder to get the money out of the deal because now you got to go sell the note. But if we're selling a track for 100 grand and somebody's like, cool, I want seller financing, great. It's 135 now. We had 35%, and then we sell the note for 70 cents on the dollar. Right. So we're still making the exact same cash price, but they're just making us add one extra step to sell the note. So, if they're on board with that, like, let's do it. Right. We're probably months away from getting this billionaire dude on board who's already lent us $1 million to be the note holder from now on. So hopefully we're the note buyer for everybody's deals for all time now. But for now, it is difficult to add that extra step and have to sell the notes.
You're gonna have a billionaire investor behind you?
Yeah, and there's 3 of them looking at us right now. So it's not
His
just one.
initials aren't his initials aren't EM, are they?
No, but hopefully we get there.
Just kidding. Right. Amen.
what that went over my head.
Elon. Elon.
Oh, yes.
Well, he's a
uh,
Texas guy now, so
that would be Anthony's dream list investor right
wouldn't
there.
that be just
You
yes?
want to talk about having an unlimited wallet?
Yep.
No, like I said, we have a lot of money people looking at us right now, so I think we're gonna start. Our model's changing a little bit, so I'll tell you the inception of for the last 5 minutes here. I'll tell you the inception of how we've gotten here, so you can kind of understand in a nutshell where you're at in this business, to kind of understand this is just the path we took, but I don't know, it depends for everybody. So first off, we started flipping, just I think it was info lots. We're flipping anything we can make money on. We eventually delve into subdividing and land flipping. We raised money to start acquiring and taking on these larger projects. So you have to take on a little bit of money at that point. And we were wholesaling at first too. We were moving anything we could, any way we could at first. And then we started raising money to buy. Once you start raising money to buy, it was let's buy as much as we can with the amount of capital we have at the time. And then we started raising more money to do more deals. And then now that we have a good like well enough track record that the bigger fish are sniffing around. Money likes workhorses. I say this all the time. They like workhorses. If you're in your workhorse phase, I'm there. I think Anthony's there. Angie's there. You gotta produce some type of art. You gotta produce some type of ROI, and you're willing to do the work. There's a lot of money looking for workhorses right now, and that's just anywhere. There's more money out there than there is workhorses. So essentially, when you become a big enough workhorses, the money starts looking at everybody sideways, and everybody's trying to buy into you as a workhorse because you're only monetizable for so long in most cases. You get to a certain point where you start investing your own money, maybe you take a step back and you pivot into something else and you focus on something else. Like nobody ever once hard once you make it, it's hard to continue making it, you know? There's a comfortability point where you hit it and you're like, do I really need to show up to work every day? You know, and that's where the money is. The money is at the point where I don't need to show up to work every day, but I need to find workhorses to work the money. So there's a tipping point where you get to that the money's just looking for a place to invest with where they don't have to work for it anymore. So that's kind of where we're at, and the money's circling us now, trying to put us to work, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now that Daniel and myself have raised more money in the last
3 months.
9-ish months than we
Yeah.
have in the rest of the previous in our whole entire life. So raising money is a skill, and I wish everybody would get good at it. So if you're in this room and you're thinking, "Hey, I can't raise money because I don't have the track record. I don't have a track record of being a workhorse." You're going to lean on our track record. Okay, so you say, "I'm with a company. I'm with this team, my guys, my partners." Right? You can use those words and not be a liar. So you can lean on our credit. It's called third party credibility. Right? So if you're at a party, right, it always comes up. So what do you do for a living? I raise money for ranch development in Texas. Really? How does that work? Boom, you got them, right? But if you don't know what to say, you don't want to sound like an idiot. Like, look, I don't want to just give you all the details. Boring. Like, let's not talk about this right now. I'll hit you another time. Like, you should talk to these guys directly and just hand them over to us. That's all you have to do. Literally all you have to do. But if you start just rambling on and you sound like a moron, people with money are going to know that you're lying, right? They're not going to take you serious. So bring them to us. We'll show them the deal sheet. And if a billionaire can lend us $1 million in cash, then your doctor friend can lend us $100,000, no problem. And if you get good at raising money, I said on Steve Chang's podcast, I said the dumbest way to get rich is to put your money into a deal, flip it, and then reinvest your profits. And man, that shit blew up. People were going crazy. This guy's a communist. Like they're just like, what the heck? And even Logan Fulmer is one of my main mentors, and he's been teaching me since day one. He's probably the smartest real estate investor I know. He commented on Instagram like, I kind of disagree with this. I'm like, bro, literally, why invest your own money when you could go out and grab somebody else's million and put that shit into 10 ranches? Why would you do that on your own? I mean, you're never going to get there. It's going to take you the rest of your life. But if you get good at raising money, it is the cheat code to becoming wealthy.
One thing I'll say to this too before we go is that there's a lot of opportunity out there, and if you're trying to do big in the space, it might not take that much money to do so, but there's a lot of people with a lot of capital that are willing to invest and diversify part of their capital resources to you. And it's a small allocation to their net worth. What we do can be seen as risky in some way, shape, or form, but as long as you buy right, unlike whoever Angie was talking about earlier, as long as you buy right, you have a pretty good mitigation to that, and you just gotta wait to hit your exit price. But there's a lot of things that the hardest part is buying right, getting the capital to buy right, and then just kind of putting that thing in motion where you keep on buying good deals the right way, and you're going to be profitable on that back end.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah, turned out to be a great call, man. We appreciate all of you guys for being on here as always. And yeah, just go out and be bold, man. Make a lot of offers. I posted something on Facebook, and I think it's from she's out of Austin. I forgot her name, but she's a big time business flipper out of Austin. And she said that one of her richest mentors said that he makes the most amount of money, more than other people, is because he gets his strategy and he just executes. He said, so by the time the other people are done analyzing, he's already made 3 different mistakes and he already figured out the hack to keep everything moving forward. And I think Daniel and myself have been a good representation of that. Like, we've lost $100,000 on a deal. We've lost $350,000 on a deal. Like we're pushing so hard and so fast that we're learning a lot as we go and grow, but there's no other way. Like you're not going to be able to watch enough videos. You're not going to come to enough Tuesday night calls where like, I finally got it. You got to get out there. You got to make offers. You got to hit it hard. You got to embarrass yourself. You got to feel like a stupid ass. You just got to get in there and just hammer, 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 and you're going to come out the other side a winner. I promise. We're doing it now. Still to this day, we're still learning things every single day. So you guys get out there, kill it, pray, eat good, and exercise, and you're going to destroy it.
Question.
Yo,
So let's say I have some agents I spoke with, as you know, some of the sellers are very rich too, or even I know a guy, he said he knew maybe some billionaires, like family offices and stuff. Do you pitch it as to agents that say, hey, whatever money we can raise for them, kind of cut them a fee, or how would you kind of, I guess sell the agent to kind of connect that dot to the bigger person that will lend money?
literally anything. Look, hey, you have a big time private money. Oh, I got the biggest private money lender in the world. He's the best man you ever met in your entire life. I bet you I can show him how to get a bigger return than he's ever seen before in his life if you just get me on the phone with him.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I'll tell you a funny conversation and I'll end it. I had a guy reach out to me and he's like, hey, do you have any 18% money? Do you have any referrals for that? And he's just asking from operator to operator, like, you have any referrals for that? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't, because I'd pay my investors a lot more than that and they're spoiled. So I really can't I really can't share. I really don't have anybody at that price point. And
That's a good reversal right there.
it was very serious. Like, I'm serious. Like, my investors are spoiled and it's really hard. Like, 18% is small for them. And yeah, there's probably a lot of opportunities at 18%, but there's there's a few opportunities that pay higher. So it's one of those things where, like, there's there's good ROI out there, but there's not very much of it. And it's always fleeting. So if you have somebody that can produce it, um, it's good to know that person. But there's a lot of 12, 18% money out there that's looking for a place to be allocated, essentially. Um, so I think we talked about it on a podcast earlier today that somebody approached him and say, hey, I have cheaper money than the other guy, and I'm willing to take less for it with less hassle. That's what he told them. Because, like, when you have the opportunity, people are willing to fight just as long as their money is placed first. So it's a good position to be in. And like I said, you never know. You never know. How much at least someone can invest in? I mean, it depends on each deal. Like, so we're looking for different allocations all over the board. I just spoke to one of our lenders. She got a really good return over the last like 6 months. So it's one of those things where it depends on each person and each opportunity. So they're open to do it. Like I said, let's have the conversation. Like I said, we're always looking for, and if you know any buyers looking for land, somebody's messaged me. Let's set them up. We have buyers. We have opportunities everywhere. We have sellers. If you have sellers looking to sell their property, we're always looking for those too. If you have any leads on those, definitely hit us up. We are open and looking for opportunities actively. Okay.
I was going to say real quick on the capital, Daniel. Yeah, minimum that you're looking for is like at least like 5 to 10 grand. That could be EMD, that could be surveys, that could be little stuff. But I would say, yeah, start with that number, and you'll find that somebody that's willing to throw in 10, they get a good return real quick, and now they want to throw in 20 or 50 or 100. So you can stair step them up. So I wouldn't turn anybody away, but a really cool, nice round number where we could lock up $1 million ranch is like between like 50 and 150. But you can start with like 5s and 10s just to show them what we're doing.
And the other thing too is, like, one of the things I'm actually excited about is actually I never asked my family for money, but now they're investing in some of our transactions. So now I'm actually getting to place family money, which is really exciting. It's really
Yeah,
exciting.
we massively overpaid your mom.
Yeah, it's really cool to invest with family. Not that it comes up often, but I have, like I said, we've done it, and a few more times are coming up too as well. So it's pretty exciting to and these are going to be your first investors. If you're looking for capital for your own deals, friends and family are going to be the best opportunity for that. Sometimes you have to draw the line on what you do and what you ask for it and build track record for that. But usually your friends and family will be the ones that are going to gamble on new startups. So that's a quick tip for everybody here. And like I said, I've been doing this for a long time and I've never asked my family for any money. They kind of brought it up and they've invested in a couple opportunities with me. So it's kind of cool to that door to open without me pushing it or kicking it through. Well, that's my 2 cents. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys need anything, let us know. We're always here for you guys. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a blessed one.
Thank you.
You too.
Hey, if you have any deals you'd like to submit to the Hive Mind and our team, go to hivebc.io. It's actually the Hive Buyers Club. Submit your deals and we can hopefully dispel your deal for you. Have a great day.